All right, so one of my commenters wanted me to update the NFL public percentages, how to read the public percentages, when to fade the public, and things like that. So I'm not going to get into too much detail about line movements in this video, but I will talk about certain things that, how do I read the live odds screen and these public percentages and what they mean and things like that. So first things first, I don't really get too caught up into the percentages, even though a lot of my videos are about the percentages, the public percentages. I just use the percentages as a resource. They're not going to dictate or sway me off a certain side. I've been doing this for a long time, so I kind of know, I could kind of catch on to what's going on with the line makers, what they're trying to do. There's a lot of traps out there. They try to fool a lot of the people. So don't forget, it's a betting market. A lot of these percentages are put there to throw people off track and things like that. All right. So, and a lot of them don't even hold as much weight as you think they do. So first things first, first thing I look at, and I'm kind of just figuring out what I want to talk about here, is I look at the opening line. The opening line is critical. Okay, so the opening line tells you exactly where the line makers are shading the line from the very beginning. They put out a dummy line, and then they see where the bets come in. All right. So I look at the opening line, and you need to know the opening line in comparison to where it closes at. I'm not going to talk about, like I said, the closing line, but just know that the opening line is a lot more important than the closing line. All right. So I look at the opening line to determine where the initial thought of the game is being shaded. So if it's being shaded as a big favorite, you know that the favorite is obviously doing something that has been making, that is warrant of being a favorite. Okay. And if they haven't been, that's something you got to take a look at. Now, if it's being shaded toward the underdog, meaning they make a favorite a short favorite, they're basically saying that the underdog has a good chance at winning, but that might actually create value on the favorite side. So those are things you have to take a look at. So the first things first, I look at the opening line. All right. So the second thing that I like to look at is the bet percentage. Okay. So the bet percentage is a number that tells you how many bettors are coming in on a certain game. So when these bet percentages are very high, that means that these percentages are going to hold more weight to them. Okay. So if it's a low percentage, if it's a low volume game, and we see that a lot in the college football, those percentages could actually mean that it's sharp money. So those high percentages, the ones that show 84%, 89%, 75%, that could actually be sharp money, especially on those low volume games. But when you get games like this in the NFL, all right, with about $800,000 bet between a certain amount of sports books, okay, these percentages right here hold a lot of weight. Okay, there's going to be a lot of percentage on one side. Okay, so this 85% is more of a true percentage than what you would see in a low volume game in college football. All right, so those are a couple things that I like to look at. A lot of the times what they'll do is, well, I'll get to that in another video, and I'll show some examples of that. I don't want to get too confusing in this video here. So those are two things that I like to look at. Let's see what else can I talk about in this video. I told you that the opening line is very important. The bet percentage, the bet number of bets that are coming in on a team, on a game itself. That's the second thing that I look at. And I don't get swayed too much about these percentages, this 85%. Okay, so I just use this as a resource as to what I'm going to do. You still have to do the research. That's the thing. You still have to know Is it going to be an overreaction, an underreaction? Is a team winning on a big winning streak where you have an opportunity to fade them? And where did the line open at with the team being on a big winning streak? So things like that you have to take a look at when you're trying to handicap these games. I could go into a lot of more detail about things, but there's so many things to talk about. I could make so many more videos of this topic. So those are basically two things that I like to look at, and I'll be back with some more videos putting out some more information about this stuff. So thanks for the comment and updating my video.